Where are we now?
I believe we're in China, yeah.
Whereabouts in China?
Yangzhou, Jiangsu.
You've been here longer than me. What is the general vibe of this city? What's going on here? How would you describe it to somebody who's never heard of it?
Yangzhou is a really old city, so there's a lot of old culture here. In fact, right now we're in the old street, in the old town. This has been around supposedly since 500 BC, but really found its strength in the Ming Dynasty, so it's 400, 500 years ago. It found its really its monetary strength.
Okay, so what are we doing today?
Today we're just kind of trying to shoot some films, some B-roll. We're going to take a lot of small shots, edit them together into a nice little, I was planning on doing maybe a 20-second, 30-second little video that kind of suggests this idea of exploration, of travel, of getting from point A to point B.
We're going to go around together into the old town and take a Lindy walk. It's going for a walk, but with no particular destination.笑一下。
可是我长得不好看。
不是啊，很好看。
谢谢。
Allowing you to be present and mindful and put you in a sort of almost meditative state again, going through and absorbing the things as you see them.
现在工作在这里。
工作在扬州吗？
在扬州。你是扬州人吗？你是本地的？
我不是。
你是哪里的？
是安徽。
安徽的。
是哪个城市？
他以前就在
安徽合肥。
合肥我知道了，我以前在芜湖。
哦。哇，你们中文真的说得好好，真的。
我就在这儿几年了。
哦，中文说得非常棒，非常棒，真的很棒。你们中文说得非常好，真的很棒。
谢谢。
比我英文还要。
It looks exactly like his coffee house. So maybe he's just turned it into a bar. It's really cute. You could order like coffee through this little window here.
I love that sort of stuff.
And then right next to it used to be the old About Bistro. Now it's Today Beans.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Yeah, so there are these photo journals from like the 80s or 90s. So here's a good example of, I found one of them, but the quality, he's just left them out here so they all get kind of beat up. So something like that, and then inside you can have a lot of photos.
Yeah.
And I've been using these for like making collages from the different histories. But this one is no use, it's too broken. Here's a good example. 1982.
That's pretty cool.
And inside it's just like a bunch of old photos. And yeah, I'll just cut them up and make collages.
Right. And what would you do with that?
What would I do with it?
Yeah.
I'll just get an abstract sense of the time. Especially through the lens of a Chinese photographer, a Chinese magazine.
你好。
在学校吗？
于今晚6点至8点，请个人设置的女性居民。
慢点，慢点。
看一下现烤现卖，可以辣，可以不辣，也可以微辣，来什么吗？
Tell me about your tea business.
I think tea is a really fascinating beverage because it's the rich person's drink, the poor person's drink. You get in a cab here in China and you've seen it. The cabbies will have a big glass of tea and they just fill it up all day.
Right.
And so really I was really into tea back in America, the Chinese tea in particular, but I didn't know what the tea culture was like. And so there's no way to really understand that unless you go to a tea drinking country. Particularly if you're drinking Chinese tea, go to China and see how the regular people consume tea, what they think about tea.
Was tea one of your primary motivations for coming to China in the first place?
It was, yeah, tea and poetry. Yeah.
Poetry, okay.
Poetry, yeah.
All right.
So there's actually an old poem by Li Bai that talks about coming to Yangzhou in the spring and how beautiful it is. So.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Was that one of your ideas?
Exactly. When I was deciding on cities, I was looking at okay, what's poetically famous? What's
Okay.
written into the poetic history of China? And Yangzhou is a staple in there.
Right. So, what kind of customers are you selling to?
Really individuals all over the world. A lot of times the younger people are really into the Chinese tea ceremony, and the Chinese tea ceremony consists of the smaller cups, smaller teapots. So if you're British, you're thinking of the large teapots. We're thinking of maybe 100 milliliters, and you pour that into tiny 3 small cups.
Yeah.
And so there's a little bit of complexity to it. It's not something you can do very fast, and so it's kind of people looking for an alternative beverage of choice instead of a coffee or something that's very, very fast. This is something you sit down, it's almost meditative. And so we're getting a lot of my customers are really relaxed, and it's wonderful to work with. If there are any problems, they're the chillest people, so it's wonderful.
Right. I think for a lot of people, coffee is a functional thing. It's in order to be awake in the morning.
Exactly, for the caffeine.
Yeah. But Chinese tea especially is something different as a whole. Has this whole ritualistic aspect to it if it's done properly.
That's right. It's a practice. If you're wondering why I need practice, you can hop over to the One River Tea YouTube channel. One River Tea, it's just all one word. Sometimes split up into others, but One River Tea YouTube channel. And I have all of these travel videos of me going out to different mountains that are famous for different types of tea. I meet the farmers, meet the producers. I show the whole process behind how this tea is made. And really in those videos, it's very technical and academic as far as the information goes, but I want to get better at this kind of adventurous B-roll, this exciting footage, which I think James Michael does a great job on.
I'm looking forward to seeing how it comes out. So, cheers.
Cheers.